This video is dedicated to Antonio Rouse. Antonio, thank you. Sythis, Harvest Sand versus Selvala Explorer Returned, Okorn, Eye of Chaos, partnered with Zndsplit, Eye of Wisdom, and Beladros, Witherbloom. That is all lands, so watch us mulligan into a no-lander. Yeah, almost. That is... might actually be workable if we can get... we go Utopia Sprawl on the Prismatic Vista, and then Fertile Ground onto it as well. Yeah, I'm going to risk keeping that one. We'll get down our commander on turn 2, and then we can go Fertile Ground, hopefully draw into a land. We'll draw a card on turn 1 as well. Okay, there's a replenish. Let's go for a forest with the Prismatic Vista. And then Utopia Sprawl, of course, onto the forest. And we'll say white with that. So now we can get down our commander next turn if we want to. Just some tap lands from everyone on turn 1, so hopefully our commander won't be interfered with. We do not get into a land, so let's go for our commander. And hopefully we'll leave that in play until next turn. Worst case scenario, we can still go for Fertile Ground, a Phyrexian Tower, and another sack outlet for Billy Kills in Viscerous Seer, playing the Beladros deck. Najim V is a friend from the Discord as well, playing the Zndsplit and Okorn combo. And then Brofisto, patron to the channel, getting down a Suture Priest. So we managed to keep our commander in play, and we do get into a land. That's really good. So let's go like this, and we'll go Fertile Ground onto that land, which will draw us a card and gain us a life. And that gets us into Miri's Guile. So I think playing the Miri's Guile is good here. And that gets us into another land in Temple Garden for next turn. So we don't necessarily want to put a land on top next turn with the Miri's Guile. Probably just go for Omen of the Hunt next turn. Vamp Tutor during the upkeep for kills. And playing out the Skull Clamp, so I don't know if that's what they tutored for or not. And then Najim getting down the Wirefly Hive. Selvala Explorer Returned coming into play for Brofisto, triggering the Suture Priest. And then the Suture Priest swings in down the middle, because he is wide open there. And then it's round to our turn. We will look at the top 3 and reorganise those cards. There is a Journey to Nowhere, Ajani's Chosen is going to be really good. I think I might want to get down Karametra this turn, to be honest, so... let's go land, Journey to Nowhere, and I will draw the Ajani's Chosen this turn. Shocking the Temple Garden, which we have no qualms in doing because we've got lots of little bits of life gain thanks to our commander. And then it is Karametra, which will draw us into the Journey to Nowhere, and now for every creature that we go for we'll be able to get some land ramp on the go. So getting off to a very good start. Oh wow, and it's already animated on turn 4. So might as well swing in. Yeah, we'll offer up the trade to Billy Kills. He's not going to block it, but if we can get rid of Viscerous Seer, that'll be fine with me. Sakura Tribe Elder now, and that will lose him a life thanks to the Suture Priest. We'll also get another forest into play though. And Ralzeric for the partner player, shooting our commander, which deanimates the Karametra. Yes, we will. We could go Sun Titan next turn. Although we've got a tap land on top, haven't we? Yeah, let's put her back in the command zone. And we all draw a card thanks to the Selvala, so we do get into that tap land. Maybe we'll have an untapped land on top. So we could have gone for the Sun Titan to get our commander back, but I think I'd quite like to get Ajani's Chosen down next turn. And then if we go into Sterling Grove, that'll put Shroud on our commander as well. Now going for the parlay again, because they must have done it at the end of Najim's turn, so doing it again during their own. Well, I've lost Dreams in play now as well. And we drew into Zendikar Resurgent. Then an Essence Warden for some more life gain over there. 7 cards in hand. And you would think the Suture Priest would go in at the Ralzeric, and it does. That does have a -2 on it, so it's good to take the option away from that. Alright, Wild Growth, Reliquary Tower is really good. I'll draw into that this turn, I think. Yeah, I don't mind any of that. So we'll go Greater Auramancy, Wild Growth, and Reliquary Tower. Go Ajani's Chosen, which will shuffle the other stuff away. Not really too worried about that. I don't mind those cards that are on top, but I'm not in love with them either. Get down the Cycle Land, because these come into play tapped. So we'll get the tap lands out of the way as best we can. That reanimates the Karametra. Triggers the Essence Warden and the Suture Priest, which triggers Well of Lost Dreams. And then we could go Journey to Nowhere on the commander. There's really long drawn out turns you can have with Selvala. I don't know if they're anywhere near that though. Yeah, maybe Sterling Grove this turn instead. And that triggers the Ajani's Chosen, so we get a 2/2 cat into play. And still, we have 7 cards in hand, but good to get the Reliquary Tower down, triggering the life gain again. So our Shroudy 6/7 can go in towards Broffisto. And I would think the Viscera Seer would turn in towards the Ralzeric. Sakura Tribelder gets sacrificed, goes for a swamp. Decided to just take the damage, goes down to 42. And now it is Billy Kill's turn. 3 visits. And just throwing down a Shock Landing tapped with that. And ending the turn with Dina Soulsteeper. And it's noteworthy that Viscera Seer did not turn in sideways towards the Ralzeric, so that stays in play for another turn. And it is Okorn this time. Not seeing any kind of unblockable or anything this turn, hopefully. It'll need haste regardless. Selvala, drawing us all into some cards again, we get an Ancient Tomb. And then using the Wirewood Lodge to untap an elf. And the Selvala is an elf, of course. Tapping it down again gives us an Heroic Intervention. And Night of Autumn is going to come down and shoot our Sterling Grove. We just got rid of the other means of giving Shroud to our stuff. We do have the Sun Titan in hand though, so not too worried about that. Then casting an enchantment of their own in Burgeoning. 11 cards in hand over there, so I'm sure he'll get some use out of the Burgeoning. So then we get back around to our turn and we've drawn back into the Greater Auramancy if we want it. Enchantress's Presence is good. Probably get into the Enchantress's Presence here. Yeah, because we can grab that back with the Sun Titan like I said. So let's go like that, put the Enchantress's Presence on top. We can actually get this art with a new frame now thanks to Modern Horizons 2, so I need to make sure to do that. Don't like having random foils in a deck if I can help it. So there it is, Ancient Tomb, triggers the Burgeoning, and they do get a Forest into play going down to 6 cards. They got rid to hand size of Paradise Druid, Angel of Vitality, Terminus, and a Dawn of Hope. Let's drop our commander back into play, which triggers the Karametra. We'll shuffle those cards around again. That is a May ability, so we could always not do that if we didn't want to. Get the Dual Land into play, and then that is an enchantment creature, so triggers the Ajani's Chosen as well as the life gain creatures. And now let's go Enchantress's Presence. We will draw a card with the Sythis. And we're probably going for Journey to Nowhere onto this before it knocks someone out with Unblockable. Because this thing jumps up to like thousands of power and toughness in no time flat. And we draw into Song of the Dryads for it if we want to. Going to go Karametra into the Ralzeric. And Ajani's Chosen can go in at Billy Kills. And we'll see if they want to lose a creature. Broffisto will probably just take it, he's at 56. Alright, does decide to block, so maybe wants to reanimate the Night of Autumn at some point. Might have a Sun Titan in hand or something. And the Ralzeric does go down. They do not get rid of Okorn as we thought they wouldn't. So we'll go to our second main and let's go Journey to Nowhere. Get rid of that Okorn before it does any more damage. Draw 2 cards from our Enchantress creatures. They might have some means of countering this, but it gets the counter magic out of their hand at least. They do pass priority though. Deflecting Swap might be able to do something with it. we draw into Calyx and Idyllic Tutor. Triggers the Ajani's Chosen, which will trigger all the life gain again. Noteworthy that Broffisto is not putting mana into the Well of Lost Dreams. So might be holding up some kind of a fast tutor or swords or path. Demonic Tutor from kills with 3 mana available, 4 if he sacrifices a creature. So we might see a Toxic Deluge here. And that would be a good way to get rid of the Karametra, because it is indestructible, it's a difficult one to get rid of, but instead, casting a Cultivate, don't know if they tutored for that or not, obviously. And then playing a land and equipping their Dina with the Skull Clamp, and they will pass the turn at that. The second commander coming into play this time is Intersplit Eye of Wisdom. They have 9 cards in hand already, so gonna have to discard down to hand size, especially if they draw a bunch of cards with this turn. And Broffisto going for Path to Exile onto our Karametra, so that is the last we will see of her this game. We will definitely get a land into play though, don't have a basic plains yet. And then Sylvan Library coming down for the other Celestia player. And Vedalken Orrery, that's preferably not one that we would want to play against. They will have Flash now, and I haven't tapped down their commander yet, but we'll be able to untap it at the end of Najim's turn. And they've also got the option of playing something with Flash. They've got 4 cards in hand, so I'm not sure how many lands they're going to get out with Burgeoning. The Wolfwillow Haven ending up on top again after the shuffle. Doomscar, Argothian Enchantress. I think we go for the Argothian Enchantress there, although maybe it's a good idea to foretell this. Yeah, we'll play it risky and go for the Argothian Enchantress. So first off, we can go for the Enchantress. Feels bad not getting the ramp from Karametra anymore. Maybe should have left a Corm in play and got this out with Sun Titan last turn. Really want to get rid of these lifelinkers as well if I can. They did draw a card there, so maybe just holding up the parlay here. So how's about we go for Calyx. And we can put the commander underneath a Journey to Nowhere and start turning in sideways over that way. So Calyx goes down to 1, that is a -3. And like I said, putting it under the Journey to Nowhere, although it'll end up in the command zone, I dare say. So tapping that gives us access to Wolfwillow Haven, and then untapping it, which draws us into the Doomscar after they parlay again. And I totally forgot that parlay actually reveals the cards, doesn't it? So I'll zoom in on each player's revealed zone, and you can have a look at the cards that they've got access to here. Some of the cards they would have played already, but I'll let you keep track of that yourself. So I think I want to hold up the Heroic Intervention just in case of an Austere command this turn, or a Baleful Mastery, something like that. I think that's the creature that comes in and blows up all the enchantments and artifacts. So in that case, why don't we go Wolfwillow Haven onto the plains, we'll draw a bunch more cards. Okay, Beast Within, going on to the Journey to Nowhere. Didn't notice that the Selvala is actually underneath the Journey to Nowhere. So we could go Heroic Intervention here. It does it until end of turn, doesn't it? I don't think I care that much about them getting the Selvala back, so we'll allow that. It'll also give us a target for Sun Titan to get the enchantment back again. And they are sticking at 7 cards in hand, still holding up that single piece of mana. They've used Path already, we might see Swords. Alright, and we've got Ground Seal now as well. A little bit of a numbo with Ground Seal and Sun Titan, but I did want to have a little bit of graveyard hate without exiling graveyards. Got Starfield of Nyx as well, so we'll have to be careful with Ground Seal. If they're that eager to have their Selvala, then I wonder if we just go Song of the Dryads onto it. Yeah, let's get down an untapped land with Misty Rainforest. Triggers the Burgeoning. And they did get another land into play. So let's go Song of the Dryads onto this thing. Wanted to put that on the Acorn really, but I'll just hope that we can keep that out of play with Journey to Nowhere. And we'll draw even more cards with our Enchantresses. A replacement if the Ajani's Chosen gets killed off, then we can put that out instead Fable Passage being sacrificed in response. But we do manage to successfully enchant their commander. Not sure where it's gone, actually. Alright, that's really weird. Not sure what Magic Online is doing here. That is saying that it's enchanting the Selvala. Not saying that it's a forest, though. It's saying that this cat is a forest. That's really weird. So I'll have to double check during the recording to make sure I clicked everything correctly. I don't know why I would go anywhere near clicking a cat. So let's go Song of the Dryads onto this thing. Wanted to put that on the Acorn really, but I'll just hope that we can keep that out of play with Journey to Nowhere. Yeah, see, because when I hover over the Song of the Dryads, it highlights the Selvala. So, yeah, I don't know what's happened there, but we'll pass through the turn. Beledros Witherbloom coming into play for Billy Kills with 8 cards in hand over there. Then immediately untapping all the lands he controls, going down to 21. And that is an E-Witness, so we'll be able to grab something out of the bin. Probably the Demonic Tutor again, I would think. And he does get the Demonic Tutor and casts it straight away. They went for a Lightning Greaves by the looks of it, and played and equipped that, put it on the Beledros. Finishing off our commander, we don't have any flyers or any kind of reaches, so that will go down. And here we see the Acorn Eye of Chaos again for the red and blue player. So after all the coin flips, I think they were pretty unlucky there, only up to 10 cards in hand. I think they were at 9 previously. Acorn is a 6/6 but doesn't have any evasion or haste. I think we have to go Sun Titan Journey to Nowhere on this next turn. Illusionist's Braces coming down with Flash, thanks to the Vidalcan Orrery over here. Oh, and actually I didn't spot the Scavenger Grounds. There's a Rogue's Passage here as well, so they could team up and go Acorn onto one of us. So this is all well worth knowing. Yeah, really annoying that this didn't work on the commander for some reason. It's still pointed at it over there even after we passed through our turn. And now they're going to have the Illusionist Braces as well, so yeah, really irritating that. It's the type of thing that can swing games in someone's favour. Sylvan Library trigger for Broffisto. And then the Braces go on the commander as you would expect. And a 1000-year elixir as well, so we're starting to see exactly what you do with Selvala Explorer Returns. You tap it and untap it a million times. So using the 1000-year elixir to untap it after it's been tapped once. Untapping with Wirewood Lodge. Then playing Exploration. And they did just draw into a Serra's Sanctum, so that is noteworthy. And playing that straight away. And then Crested Sunmare. So it's a case of us wanting to combo off, I think, at this point. We've got a card in the deck called Epic Struggle, and it goes well with stuff like Starfield of Nyx, because we can turn all of our enchantments into creatures, and then if we've got 20 or more creatures that we control, we win the game during the upkeep. So if we can hold up Teferi's Protection and or Heroic Intervention, then I fancy our odds of winning with that. It does mean getting into a lot of enchantments and creatures though. Plus actually drawing into the Epic Struggle, we could tutor it up though. So our opponent did gain life this turn. Crested Sunmare will make an indestructible horse. And then we might as well take advantage of the fact that we've got an additional land for some reason. We'll play out the Omen of the Hunt, draw some cards. Okay, getting to a Serra's Sanctum of our own, as well as a Sigil of the Empty Throne, so we're making a bunch of tokens here, which is really good. The only problem is, has Kills gone for a Toxic Deluge? I wouldn't have thought so, because he does have the Beledros Witherbloom that he just cast last turn, so the problem is we'll have to reveal what card we draw with the Idyllic Tutor, so that might encourage board wipes. Now we've got Academy Rector and Karmic Justice. We've no way of sacrificing Academy Rector in this deck, so I'm not sure if it's the best thing we could go for. Karmic Justice is good insurance though, so yeah, we'll go for that. play out the Serra's Sanctum before I forget to play that and do another land instead. Triggers the Burgeoning, 7 cards in hand over here. And he discarded hand size, Jeweled Lotus, a Resplendent Angel, and some lands. Or a land it would have been. So first thing we'll do is cast Sigil of the Empty Throne. Draw cards with Enchantresses. Alright, and that is on Thin Ice, which can get rid of this, hopefully. Oh, actually, if we want to go for this, we have to put it on this Snow Jewel land, and we've just made a land, so can't do that. We'll have to... Yeah, we haven't wanted tap lands so far. Yeah, so we'll have to not do that just yet. Let's try Kenrith's Transformation then. Get the card draw, and now get 4/4 Angels as well from the Empty Throne. So going for Heroic Intervention, won't be able to get rid of their commander this turn, unfortunately. Yeah, because they'll all have hexproof. Good to get that out of the hand though. And we draw back into the Greater Auramancy, so that's probably what we go for here. Maybe start making a bunch of creatures with Archon of Sun's Grace. Let's definitely go Greater Auramancy. Get the triggers, and the client is starting to struggle a little bit. Alright, and we've got Solitary Confinement now as well, so I like the idea of setting up with that. We have no problem discarding cards here. So, yeah, let's get Solitary Confinement out. That makes us about as safe as we can possibly be. Alright, and we don't need to tutor for the Epic Struggle now because we've already got it. I don't think we're going to have enough mana though, unfortunately, to do it this turn. So, Serra's Sanctum, we go like that. That is 11 mana. And I think we're just holding up Heroic Intervention. Maybe we draw into Teferi's Protection. Yeah, so let's just put all our eggs in one basket here. We'll go for the Archon of Sun's Grace. Want to make as many creatures as possible to attempt to switch on that card. Where's it gone? The Epic Struggle. So let's drop ourselves a Grasp of Fate. And that will make 3 more tokens, including the Angel on cast and then the other 2 on entry. Grasp of Fate comes into play. We will take away Dina over here. We'll take away Belladros, but it's got Shroud. Take away Acorn, definitely. And all of these stuff has hexproof over here. It would have been nice to get rid of the Suture Priest, but we can't do that here, so we'll just go like that. So now Kills is holding up mana, wondering if he wants to keep Dina or not. He sacrifices it instead, so he will draw cards to the Skull Clamp, and then he'll get a Scry with the Viscera Seer. So Grasp of Fate just taking the Acorn away. Really hoping the client doesn't crash here. Might not be the best tactic for Magic Online, because it doesn't like a lot of permanents in play. Yeah, so we're just going to have to make use of the mana we've got, do a bunch of triggers again. I want to get the Karmic Justice and the Soul Snare into play, unfortunately, so let's carry on. Noteworthy again that the Acorn has gone underneath the Grasp of Fate. Haven't been looking at the chat, so I don't know if he's been told to do that or not, but he might have some means of bouncing that back to our hand, and then he gets his commander back into play for free. Now what we could do here is put haste on all of our stuff and knock a player, maybe 2 out with Concordant Crossroads. I don't think we can knock out Najim though. I'd want to knock out Billy Kills because I'm scared of Toxic Deluge. I don't think we've drawn into Teferi's Protection yet. We have not. I mean, we've got the Solitary Confinement, so we don't have to worry about the swing back anyway. Yeah, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you, so I think I'm gonna have to, for the sake of progressing the game along, and it being no more of a solitaire match than it needs to be, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get down the Concordant Crossroads here. And that will give all creatures in play haste, for anyone who doesn't know. So hopefully we'll be able to get rid of both Billy Kills and Najim here. And we do have the Teferi's Protection now, so if we want to set up the combo win, then we can play it out next turn and wait for the next upkeep. We'll have both Heroic Downfall and Teferi's Protection in hand for that, hopefully. We do not have Teferi's Protection held up now, though, because we've played out the Concordant Crossroads and the Soul Snare. Alright, so the client really struggling now. We're tempting fate here, so let's try and knock a player or 2 out. Billy Kills is holding up priority, but not sure if he can do anything. Okay, so we've got 24 going in at Billy Kills in the air. And then everything else can go in at Najim, and hopefully that's enough to take care of him. So it looks like we're getting through for hopefully lethal in the middle. I'm pretty sure it's lethal on kills. Sacrificing a pest token will gain him some life. Zinder Split blocks 3 damage from a Ajani's Chosen. And then kills doing something. He might be able to kill off an angel token. Oh, 10 the pests, alright. So he's actually going to be able to survive here. If he gets rid of his Beladros, which we're at least forcing the issue. What did he sacrifice there? Oh, he must have sacrificed the Eternal Witness, so I'll go up to 24. I did swing in with an additional angel, so maybe... Yeah, I think it was 24 that we swung in, wasn't it? So I think we still get him. Oh, and of course he loses life from these Suture Priests as well. So there we go, managing to get rid of kills and Najim. Big thank you to them for playing it out. That last turn of mine was a real solitaire turn. We probably just go wide on Brofisto next turn. It would be cool to get the combo win though. So I'll probably just play that card out anyway and pass just in case. Crested Sunmare, they did gain life, so they get another indestructible horse at the end of the turn. Yeah, Kill said in the chat that he miscounted. I thought he was going to sacrifice his Beladros and make just enough pests to survive there. Maybe he could have gone for a board wipe on his turn, but sacrificed his Eternal Witness instead of the commander, unfortunately. Sylvan Library triggers for Brofisto. So the life gain from the Sythis has absolutely been relevant here, I think, because we would have lost a lot of life to the Suture Priest, but by getting down enchantments, we've cancelled a little bit of it out, so yeah, the Rogue's Passage might have been more relevant here if it wasn't for the life gain from this. Angel of Destiny, they can't deal damage to us as it stands now. Well, actually, let's just see a minute, how is that worded? At the beginning of your end step, if you have 15 or more life than your starting life total, each player Angel of Destiny attack this turn loses the game, so you don't have to deal damage, you just have to have attacked them and have more life. So, we have to... we don't have enough mana to hold up Heroic Intervention after this is the only problem. So let's go for the Soul Snare onto that. I'm just wondering now, actually, will it still trigger at the beginning of the end step? If this isn't in play anymore, maybe I should have done that at the beginning of combat. I actually thought I was on the beginning of combat when I passed, but... okay, return a card from graveyard to hand. Alright, so... they've got it anyway. I'm not sure if this would have triggered because it's already attacked. So just because we've removed it doesn't mean that it doesn't still trigger, maybe. Anyway, they're going to get their Heroic Intervention back, so it looks like Brofisto has this one. Casting the Heroic Intervention after getting it back to hand, and we are seeing the power of Vedalken Orrery there. They were able to fish something out of the graveyard at instant speed. So managing to hit us with the double strike, and the Angel of Destiny will trigger there. You can let me know in the comments if I'd removed it there. Would it have still triggered at the end? I'm not sure. I mean, it's probably just a safe bet to do it at the beginning of combat or on the main anyway. They had Teferi's Protection anyhow, but had it not have been for that, I think not getting them in combat would have been fine. We still could have gone for Epic Struggle and held up our own protection spells. We've got 28 creatures in play at the moment. A little bit of a goofy combo because we don't have things like Vedalken Orrery to get it into play at instant speed, which maybe we could cram that into the deck. We don't have any artifacts in here, I don't think, because we do have Stony Silence, so no ramp in the form of artifacts. But yeah, I've run a lot of combos in Enchantress builds before, and this is one of the only ones that I've never run, so I just shoehorned that in here. Hopefully you all enjoyed this game, and if you want to see it again, be sure to let me know. Big thank you to Brofisto, Billy Kills, and Najim V for playing. If you want to support on Patreon as well, then you can follow the link through to Patreon with the link in the description below. I'm tribalkai on the eedi-H channel. Thank you for watching.